Okay, hi everyone down there at Drive on Wood. You guys want to see some of the pics of my build? Here we go. This is just a water pressure tank for a well. You can get them for a lot of guys at these companies will just give them to you. I paid $10 a piece for these. They were in great shape. Got to cut the bladder out, clean up the inside. It's a mess, but it's worth it. And I believe they're made out of an aluminized metal, so they don't really weld all that great. But they're the most inexpensive way to go. They were 60 cents a pound at White City Metals here in Oregon, and that would have been, they weigh 150 pounds, so I just called a well company and got them for almost free. Anyways, okay, here is the upside down look at my burn chamber. It's a CO2 canister, and then I've got my fins welded on it. It's not a straight up and down burn tube at the bottom. The CO2 curve of the top of the tank, I cut a hole in it and put a reduction on there. Let's see if I can get it looking better. Okay, that's hard to tell. Okay, there's my 4-inch port at the bottom, and my nozzle is sticking in a couple of inches. Too far, Tom tells me. I'm learning and understanding about the burns. He's right. And there's a little better look at it. Okay, there are the fins welded to my reduction tube, which is 5 3/4 round, I believe, ID. It's 7/16 inch thick. It takes quite a while to get warmed up, but it seems like once it warms up, it should work pretty good. We'll see. The fins are welded on there, and then I wrap that with sheet metal so that the heat will go from the bottom of the burn chamber up like a Wayne Keith design, and then I put my nozzles all the way at the top. So I've got hot air coming down through my pyrolysis chamber, and I'm pretty new at this, so I'm kind of experimenting. There's another look at it. You can see the curved bottom, and then the tube I have welded down there, and then I've got it choked down to about a 4-inch port at the bottom. Then I got a tube that I can just slip right down in there from the top of the hopper, and it goes down to 2 3/4. Okay, there's our Halloween. And then at the bottom, I decided I found this old high carbon steel pulley off a semi truck, and I just cut it and put it on there. I thought, okay, a little bell at the bottom flare would help. Let's see, can you see that? Let's see. Okay, there's my tanks. I'm cutting. Okay, here we go. There's the bell, and then I put this air ring around. I don't really see anybody doing that. It was my thought to help keep the air moving and not choke up. So far it seems to be working pretty good. We'll see over the long run. There is an air space between the ring and the bottom of the burn chamber, and I just took a couple of 3/4 inch nuts and welded them on there as spacers. And there you go, you can see. And then there is a space from the top of the bell to the air ring. That's another look at it. Okay. And there we go. That's what it looks like. Got my chains ready to put the grate on there. There's my grate on there, space of about 1/2 inch between the little air dam and the grate. Hopefully the air will keep moving over it. There's another pic of it. Okay, that's the setup right there. Now there's also a big space. Let me go back. There's a big space there between the grate and the ring. Grate is square, ring is round, and it's bigger, so if anything gets choked up, there's a good space for it to roll out of there and keep the flow going. So there we are, upside down. about the shaking. I'm doing this with my phone. Okay, now the bottom of these pressure tanks is pretty good because they've already got a flat bottom, easy to work on. They've also got a drain on them. You know, they're pretty much all set up. I just wish they were thicker and better metal. The insides are pretty corroded, and you take a wire wheel and clean them up, and they come out pretty good. But once they get covered with soot, hopefully they won't rust out too much. That's a picture looking down. Okay, there we go. Those are the two pressure tanks that I got. I actually got two on the right, the big ones, and I ended up cutting them up, and I made a sleeve on the inside of my hopper so that my condensation can run down all the way around the outside of the hopper, and there's a little space there where it goes all the way down to the bottom. And then I did fill the bottom of the hopper with a little bit of cement behind the ring where the wood goes, and put a little insulation so that the water won't re-steam and just make the wood wet again. Okay, there's a picture of it all together. So for $30 I got 3 of these big tanks to play with. Okay, I had a flat lid on there for a while. Thought, I better put the round one back on. That's my clean out. Okay, I think I'm going back through my pics. Okay, now let me go to another page real quick. Close this file. And I'll show you the last of the build pics. Okay, here we go. You can see right here that I've got the smaller tank as my filter. The lids kind of interchange. I put the round lid on there. Told you about that. Put the flat one back on the filter. There's that. You can see my lighting port on there. Haven't even cut my opening yet for the air intake. And there's my hopper lid. Seems to work great. And on the inside, you know, I've got that sleeve where the wood goes, and I've got the whole inside of my hopper can collect water and drain all the way down to the bottom. Okay, there's the out pipe I've got coming out of the collection at the bottom, the hot air at the bottom. Then it goes up and then angles a bit down into the filter setup where I've got a cyclone going. It cools it down really fast. Got that idea from Flash 001, and it makes a lot of condensation in there, because I notice I've got in the middle of that I've got about 6 inches of stainless steel and then some wool or some fiberglass insulation on top of that, low density, so the air will flow. And it's pretty wet in there. It's not going to be fun to clean out, but I shouldn't have to clean it out too often, but I will. We'll see what happens. Anyways, cyclone action seems to be working good, and then it comes out into a Ben Peterson style cooling system. Got a 3-inch pipe at the bottom for condensation, then it goes up. I'm actually got my fan in line, sucking the air through it instead of pushing the air through it, and that fan does not like going through that smoke, especially when you fill this thing full of wet green madrone, and I plugged everything up. I ruined my fan. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. That's a lousy picture. There we go. You can see it there. There, that's looking down. This is before I poured it in. Let's see, yeah. No, that's after the port is in there. Okay, here's the little slip tube that I slipped down in there. It's 3 inches long, 2 3/4 inch ID, and it goes down about, a half inch from the grate. That's what I've got in there right now. Seems to be working pretty good. there I've kind of ground it back and made it so everything would flow a little bit better. I just dropped that right down the reduction tube, and then I change it from the 4-inch down to a 2 3/4. And there's another picture of it. Okay, we're just going back through the stuff. Okay, I'm all done. That's all the pictures I have of the build. I should have taken much more detailed ones. There's a whole bunch missing. Sorry about all that. I was building and not taking pictures. All right, thank you very much, you guys. There you go. Bye.